Welcome back, Freelancers, Undefeated Rescue, and today we're in the Colossus. We're going over a build that's going to be focusing on Emblem of Destruction to basically add charges to my ult as I'm using it. Okay, let's get to the build. Okay, with the Colossus, we'll go ahead and start with the build as I got it. So I'm using Best Defense, and I'm mostly using this one. I've got let's see here. So yeah, I've got a couple of charges on it. And I'm not really too worried about the damage it's going to be doing. It's more of just using it the most because Best Defense, basically, it does combo, so it is a detonator, but hitting an enemy with a rocket restores 35% armor, which we showed in our gear showcase video. We went over this, and basically if I can hit multiple enemies, because it does have a radius, if it hits multiple enemies, I get 35% armor back per enemy type that it does hit. So having a bunch of charge of these and using it as a detonator will help me to detonate combos, which will help me get my ult back quicker. And that'll kind of go into Emblem of Destruction when we get to the components. For weapons, I'm bringing Sentinel's Vengeance. So the reason I'm bringing Sentinel's Vengeance is because it is this is a very unique weapon for the Colossus, and it has a primer, or it does prime. So it detonates an area of acid effect on a small hit streak. So if you hit like 2 of the little grenades, if they hit an enemy, if 2 of them hit an enemy, you will proc the acid priming on that enemy type. They also do extra damage against armored enemies, so that's nice to have. This one's kind of weird because it's got a bunch of it's got a larger mag size, and then it's got reload speed on it as well, which is really nice to have because I'll be popping this quite often to get the acid effect from it. And it's got some blast damage on it, which is really nice to have. Jar's Wrath is basically another weapon that's a primer, so I'm going to use it for the electric effect to prime enemies. It's got a lot of weapon damage, so it'll help me deal with shields, and then it's got some armor on it to help me survive a bit, and then it's got armor drop rate and then armor amount, so I'll also be able to get a lot of extra health from enemy drops. Meteor Smash is also going to be a primer. It'll be a fire primer that I'll be using. And basically it's got some extra armor on it. It's got some gear recharge and then repair drop rate as well, and all that will just help keep me alive and let me use my Best Defense more often. It's got a shield on it, but I'm not really going to be using that too much. So Voltic Dome, and you're kind of going to see a trend here. I'm using a lot of primers, but Voltic Dome, enemies are frozen once it hits them. So once they're inside that like electric aura that I'll be putting out, electric effect, if they're in there, it'll freeze them if they're in there long enough, which it'll freeze them almost immediately. And then it will also apply the electric primer as well, but I'm mostly using it for the ice effect. It's got some gear recharge on it, which will help me out, and then the harvest bonus is just cool to have. It's not really going to help me at all. And then for the support gear, I'm using Berserker's Cry. So Berserker's Cry forces enemies to attack the Colossus, and reduces enemy resistance by 33%, which is what I'm really trying to do. It'll also additionally increase melee damage by 200% and reduce melee cooldown. But the melee I'm using is a primer, so that's not going to be super helpful. I'm mostly using it for the 33% resistant to reducing the enemy resistance. It's got some gear charge, it's got some ammo pickup, and then it's got an extra charge, so I can kind of spam this if I need to when I'm about to use my ult. And then for the components, I've got acid slugs. So I'm using acid slugs. I don't have a shotgun, so it's not going to really help me for the masterwork perk or the perk in general, because I won't have a shotgun. However, the inscription that it's got a max roll for 50% ult damage, and then it's also got a 25% recharge on V, and that'll be for my Voltic Dome. Giant Slayer is kind of the same thing here. I'm not using a marksman's rifle, so this really won't do anything for me. It's more driven by the inscriptions. So I've got another max roll of 50% ult damage, and then there'll also be 28% damage for my Voltic Dome as well. Emergency Power. So this one will augment my Javelin's ult and increase the damage by 30%. And also, if I get really low on health, it will basically automatically fill my ultimate meter, so I can get an ult right away. And then also it's got an inscription of 45% ult damage, and then it's got some armor on it, 75% max armor, to help me stay alive for a little while. Rejuvenating ammo. So it increases my reserve ammo for all equipped guns by 30% of the base capacity, and then replenishes armor by 20% when picking up an ammo pack. So I should be picking up ammo packs pretty often because I haven't budgeted too much for armor. And then it has a max roll of 50% alt damage, so it'll increase my alt by some more. And then it's got a melee damage inscription. I'm not too concerned about doing melee damage, but it will help me in the overall build. And then kind of like the centerpiece of the build is Emblem of Destruction. So Emblem of Destruction increases all blast damage by 15%. However, for the Masterwork perk, performing a multi-kill, which is going to be 5 enemies, with your alt will increase alt charge by 33%. So the 33% will actually give you a whole charge back, because when you use your alt as the Colossus, you initially have 3 charges. So every time you shoot one of your alt abilities, it reduces that circle that we'll see by about 1/3. So this should basically give me an alt charge back. So if I can kill multiple groups of enemies of 5 at a time, I'll just keep, basically I'll have an infinite amount of charges. The inscriptions ammo pickup amount will help me with rejuvenating ammo, because it'll help me with picking up ammo in general. And then it's got more harvest bonus, which it won't do too much for me. Shock treatment increases ordnance launcher damage by 5%, which is just going to be helpful. It's not really going to help me with the alt build. And then taking damage increases all damage by 8% for 10 seconds, stacking to 10. So basically, at max stacks, I'll have 80% additional damage. And then it's got 2 rolls for basically give me 50% alt speed. So that'll just be overall helpful in everything. I could have gone with something else that would have had more alt damage on it, but I don't think I'm gonna need all that damage, because I think with the amount of damage I have now, that'll help me out enough that I should be able to, if not being able to take down stronghold bosses very quickly, it should help me take down the weaker enemies pretty quickly. And if I can take down 5 of them, I'll pop Emblem of Destruction, which will give me a whole charge back, and hopefully I can just keep it going. So the way I would like for this to work, and we're going to test out, is basically I'm going to come into a mission or a stronghold or whatever. I'm going to basically be trying to do whatever I can to get combos. And I won't be doing a lot of combo damage, because we didn't have hardly anything budgeted for combos. So my combos won't be very powerful. But because I have so many primers, and I do have the best defense, which is a detonator, and then the shield bash, which is one of the Colossus's ability, because it can't dash. They have a shield that can use the bash, which is a detonator as well. So I have 2 solid detonators. Best defense, which I have a couple extra charges on, so I'll be able to use that pretty often. And when I do, I'll get 33% armor back from using that. And then my shield bash, which I can use to just detonate enemies. So if I run out of best defense rockets, I can use the shield as well to kind of help me basically detonate combos, which will overall help me get my alt back quickly. And then I can just kind of intrinsically start spamming it out. And then once I get it, if I can kill 5 enemies at once with 1 shot, I automatically get a charge back, which ultimately leads to the idea of having an infinite alt. It won't work that way. That's unless I find like an unending spawn of enemies. But we'll take it into a mission and then head over to a stronghold and kind of just test it out. We're going to do a legendary mission on GM3, and then just for transparency, we're bringing an epic, rare, and uncommon ultimate sigil, which will give me about 60% more damage on my ult. Here we go. Alright, so we got a legendary Ash Titan. We won't see a lot of Emblem of Destruction value, but if our ult is powerful enough, we might be able to take them down. Try and aim for a weak point. Only about 2.5.
The Urgoth brought death and misery upon countless generations, strongest of the foes.
So the Trial Resolve is a really good place to show off Emblem of Destruction. We just need to get our ult. Just gotta aim for a group. Right there, we got a charge back. Yep, we just keep getting charges back. I think that's all we're gonna get for right now. Not bad though, good value. So the good thing about this build is you can also get some pretty good solid combo damage as well. Yeah, look at all that. Okay, round 2. They're kind of spread out now. That's going to be difficult. Should still get good value. Oh, yeah. Not bad. Alright, let's see if we can get a group again. Well, if not a group, I still got 3.7 mil. We're going to quick play for a stronghold. We're going to be in GM3. And then for transparency, we're bringing in an epic, rare, and uncommon ultimate sigil. That'll give me about 60% extra damage for my ult. Here we go. Okay, so what we're going to try and do is we're not going to get a lot of value from the combos we're doing because we don't have a lot of budgeted there. We're still getting pretty good damage, but we just want to get our we want to do a lot of combos so we can get our ult built up quicker. So I'm not really too concerned about the damage I'm doing, just that I am actually doing combos. Okay, so they're going to spawn in. I'm going to pop Berserker's Cry, and then I don't know if I'm going to be able to kill enough to get Emblem of Destruction, but we'll try. Yeah, I don't think there's enough. However, I'm getting approximate 1.5 million damage per hit. So now we're back trying to get some combos to get our ult built back up again. Oh wow, we got like almost a quarter of our ult charge just from that group right there. Okay, this is like a good group to ult on. Let's see if we can get some Emblem of Destruction value. Oh, there it is. I just got an extra charge. So I'm able to clear out all these enemy types because of Emblem of Destruction, giving me an extra charge. Okay, we'll pop our ult on this legendary enforcer. And we're getting 3.2 million. This tunnel, when they spawn in, is a really good choke point for the enemy types, so I should be able to get at least one Emblem of Destruction if I don't clear them all out. Yep, there's I got one charge back, and I pretty much cleared the entire tunnel out. I might even be able to get these guys. Nope, my aim is off. Rip. Alright, I'm going to pop Berserker's Cry, see if I can clear out a group of enemies and get another charge, and hopefully clear this whole area. Okay, that wasn't enough. We can still kill them. Let's try. Oh, I'm indecisive. That's my fault. If I would have hit that group, I might have gotten a charge back. So in Skeleus' room, I have a couple of options I can do. I could either try and kill all the ads in the area, or I can try to focus my ult damage on Skeleus themselves. I think I'm going to try and focus on Skeleus to show this build still has ult potential just on its own. Take out the pillar, and I have no idea what hit me. Go ahead and build up shock treatment and do some combos. Okay. Just go straight in ult. 2.7, it's okay. Yep, and we gotta start over. Now we gotta get our ult back. Now we're gonna try with Berserker's Cry. 2.1, that's not great. Oh, okay, 4.4, pretty good. Nice. And now we get to start over and get our ult back with the combos. Go ahead and take down this pillar while we're up here. Or never mind. So I should get a lot of value there. Yeah, about a 6. Oh, my teammate's down. I would help you, but I gotta build my combo up. I'm so close. Just let me get this ult, and I promise I'll help you. It's for the betterment of the team, I swear. I'm almost there. Okay, I got my ult. Let me Let me get keep my shock treatment up, and oh my god, there's a Lego. I'm so indecisive. I gotta go for the ult. All right, Berserker's Cry, and ooh, 4.7. Nice. Oh, okay. All right. Back to the Lego. I think this build works really well in strongholds. Okay, so just kind of going back over the build, the Emblem of Destruction like alt Colossus build that I was using. The purpose is I didn't budget everything into alt, which is typically what you'll see, which is a good build. It's not a bad build. It's just it's not as effective when you're like running strongholds or on missions unless you're using your alt. So the purpose of this build was to be useful all the time, or at least not be like a hindrance to yourself, and still be able to dish out some damage. And then if you can, continue with the damage. Unfortunately, at the beginning of the video, we were kind of talking about or thinking about how like we might be able to keep the alt going nonstop. Strongholds, that really wasn't possible because obviously there's like a group of enemies, and then once they're gone, they're gone. So it was kind of hit or miss whether or not we could actually get Emblem of Destruction to kind of proc multiple times or not. In the missions, it seemed to work out a lot better, but obviously that mission we were in, that's only going to rotate through so often, so you're not going to guarantee getting that every single time. And then another thing to think about is that your teammates will potentially be using their ults as well, or doing whatever, so they might be killing off enemies before you can really take them out. So those are just some factors to consider. Overall, the build was pretty enjoyable. It was actually really rewarding to get a charge back from Emblem of Destruction and be able to use it. So I think I'm going to keep rolling with this build. I might budget a little bit more into alt damage, but overall pretty satisfied with the build. I had a lot of fun. I'm going to end the video there, but I hope to see you guys out in Bastion.